What's up, strangers? Sorry, I'm just enjoying the crickets outside. It's nothing like a end of summer, middle of September night. Just listening to the crickets outside and hanging out, talking about games. So I wanted to share with you guys one of my favorite games of all time, because I love first-person shooters, but I missed out on the PC craze because we were pretty behind at my house at my mom's growing up, which is okay. So I've been more of a console guy, but good old, phenomenal, Perfect Dark for N64. I bought this on launch day. I was still pretty new at my first job. Had been saving up, blowing my money every paycheck, and this ate up quite a bit of it. Of course, knowing now that stuff's worth money, but I didn't care then. I did. I got rid of the box. I was just looking up to see if I still had it, but I got rid of all my old N64 game boxes, unfortunately. I still have the instructions, obviously. If you've never played this game, you are missing out. I'm not going to get into a history of it. Everybody knows the story. Goldeneye, and then they made this. I think this is better than Goldeneye. There's way more to it. It's deeper. There's like a million weapons. No, it's not a million weapons. It's probably like 40 weapons. And some of them suck. But yeah, we'll get into that later. And here's I have an instruction manual, strategy guide. That's got a lot of pages in it. Awesome pictures. I went to this a lot to beat some of the timed missions, so you can unlock secret stuff like the cheats and the weapons and midget mode and DK mode or big head mode, whatever it was called. The cat's climbing behind my bookshelf. You better not knock that shit over. The kid at the game store talked me into getting this one as opposed to the official Nintendo Power one. I'm glad I got this one. I love how motivational it is too. On one of the challenges, it tells you like how shitty the challenge is and how impossible it is. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, I found it. It's 29, the second to last one. It says, the difficulty of this challenge is at the point where it almost gets boring to play, not because the game sucks, but because the sims are so incredibly cheap. That's pretty professional, right? But who am I? I swear in every video that I make. And it's unofficial, like I said. And sims, in case you don't know what I'm talking about, are bots, simulants. They call them sims in this game. God, man, many an hour and late night was spent playing Perfect Dark. I remember when I got it, I was saving up. I went to the mall that's in my area in Massachusetts, the big one, near my mother's house, and I dropped. I think the game, like, people complain about game prices now. Like, most games start at $60 unless you get the special edition, but the Perfect Dark, you already needed the expansion pack. That was $30, but I had already had that. Actually, that might be why it was so expensive. So I picked up the game. I want to say it was $70. I might be wrong. I know they were usually $50, but for some reason I feel like it was 70. I could be wrong. But it was around 70, we'll say, and I think I may have gotten the expansion pack for the N64 the same day, plus I got the strategy guide, so I dropped like over $100, like over, but in between 100 and 120 bucks on one game. But good God, if I went back and checked my stats, that's probably years of playtime on that. But me and my friend Ken went to pick it up, and I couldn't stop playing it. Like, we both played through it that night. We didn't beat the story mode. We mostly just played the multiplayer, which at first you'd think sucks because you have to unlock all the costumes and stuff to dress up your guy, and some of the secret weapons and secret levels that are based off of Goldeneye levels. But some of the Goldeneye levels were like falling apart, like the temple one. It's all like falling apart in the sand that you can hide in between, and the pillars fell. Awesome. I remember my mom somehow finding out how much I spent on the game, and she was fucking pissed. She was pissed at me. But I got my use out of it, my money's worth. I put more time into this than, well, I just put a lot of time into it. But that was about the time, like I said, when I was new at my job. So I made a lot of new friends, and here comes my goddamn cat. Behave yourself. I met like a lot of new friends. Not all of us keep in touch now. That was like, the game came out in 2000, I think, so wow, I can't believe that's almost 20 years ago. But my bedroom at my mother's was the biggest one, and well, the somewhat biggest one, and we had bunk beds because of when my little brother used to sleep there, Rando Mark, and we would always have, like, he would play from up there sometimes, but then we took them apart. So like the bottom bunk, which was mine, was like over here, and my Rando Mark's was over here, but he was usually staying downstairs in the living room. But we would have like myself, Ken, some other friends, Tim, Martin, Brian, my brother. We would have many people in my bedroom from all hours of the night, just playing Perfect Dark multiplayer, playing against bots. But later it would transform into Time Splitters night, but we'll get to that on a separate video. But Perfect Dark, easily my favorite N64 game. I know there's much better games that people have for their 64 lists, like Mario Kart and Mario 64, but mine was Perfect Dark just because I have the most fondest memories playing it. But yeah, we would play it till 3, 4, 5 in the morning, unlocking the challenges and all that shit. I remember one night we would do 2-on-2, and I think me and Tim were on a team, and my friends Brian and Ken were on the other team, and we were doing the temple level that was from Goldeneye, and in the big main upper floor, the one where you could like fall through the floor into the other floor, obviously. If you were in the top one, you could like open the doors that were going to the hallways down to the other floors and shit surrounding the upper floor. And we were using, I think it was the Farsight XL, that gun that's the Mayans used. It was blue, it kind of looked like a dolphin. And when you put the ammo in it, it would go like, meow. My friend Ken used to like love that. He would like want to make recordings of it, just the noise when it ate the ammo, like meow. But anyway, me and Tim there was a trick, and when you could, it was an X-ray gun. You could see, it was an X-ray sniper rifle instant kill gun, easily the cheapest gun in any video game in the history of first-person shooters. That was the cheapest gun, the Farsight. And I remember we didn't tell them, but you could, if like one of the players, like say Ken was staying still with a proximity mine, you could see it in the player model, in his player model's hand, and if he wasn't moving, you could shoot it. Even though you could instant kill them anyway with the Farsight gun, you could shoot the mine and it would blow up in his hand and kill him, and he would be like, "What?" and start screaming. Oh god, good times. And there was another time when me and Tim, it might have been the same night. We were following the two players. I think it was still Brian and Ken, obviously. We were following them around, watching where they were going throughout the map with the Farsight, and we could see that they were coming up through the door, opening the pillar door, and as it was opening, Brian's character was, because they were going, it was going uphill. The door opens and he's going, like, you could just see his character model like this, like, I think there's someone, he was gonna say, I think there's someone in this room. He goes, I think there's someone, boom, 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 boom. Tim blew him away. It's fucking hilarious. Weapons go flying everywhere. He was flipping out. Good times. There was another time that just came to me right now, that the bad aliens, the ones that look like velociraptors, I can't remember what they're called. The Skidar with a K, Skidar, those guys. I remember they had like a rocket launcher that was the other awesome thing. Sorry to keep trailing all over the place, but each weapon in that game, somewhat similar to Unreal Tournament, had an alternate mode of shooting. Like some of the pistols or rifles would have a single fire or semi-automatic and then fully automatic, etc., or a rocket launcher, or grenade launcher. But the Skidar rocket launcher, you could fire obviously a rocket, or you could do a fly-by-wire rocket, meaning you could aim, pilot where the rocket's going. And this one time, it was probably the same night. Ken was such an animated friend. He fired a fly-by-wire rocket, and we were doing the temple level again. And I was watching the missile, like the rocket was like flying, and I'm watching it go around the level, go around the map, and I'm avoiding it. And somehow he didn't bump into any of the bots either, or the Sims, whatever. And he finally, like, he missed Tim and all the other players that were playing the game. And eventually he saw a character model from behind stand still. Like I was saying, how you could fire at the guy stand still with a grenade and blow the grenade out of their hand. So he slows down the rocket to cut a corner, and he sees this guy from behind stand still, and then he accelerates, and the rocket flies into him. And you know how it shows you die and the screen turns black, and he goes, "What? That was me!" Ah! And it was like 4 in the morning. I don't know how my mother didn't wake up. She probably, like I said, it was September. It might have been hot that night, and she probably had her AC on. But my bedroom was the only one that didn't have an AC. It just had like a cheap fan, a cheap ass fan. And we would, I'm looking at my fan over there, not that cheap. And we would just have a fan blowing on us in like 90 to 100 degree weather. In the middle of the night, all of us screaming about killing each other. How do we eat McDonald's trying not to shit our pants? I miss being a kid, or a teenager, whatever the fuck we were, idiots. Also random, I think I had one tattoo then, believe it or not. Not me, I may have not even had any tattoos. But yeah, that's the only real perfect dark stories I can think of. I know I have millions, but maybe I'll make another one. But that's about it. Also, I remember I could never beat story mode on anything but easy. I don't think I beat it on medium. I may have gotten stuck, but the fucking game's impossible. It was all, if you're missing out, you don't want to spend, I don't know how much this goes for because I own it. But I mean, it's probably, you're not going to spend more than what I spent back in the day if you want the N64 version, which is where it's at. But it's on Xbox Live Arcade, all fixed up with HD graphics, and you can play online and I think you can do System Link too. Maybe not. But I didn't put as much time into the 360 Arcade Live title as I did on this little gray cartridge. Memories. Well, that's it. You guys have a good night. Play Perfect Dark. Think of me, sweltering in a hot as hell bedroom, playing Perfect Dark with 9 other friends. Why would you think of me? Just play the damn game. Have a good night. Take care of yourselves. Aaron Strange out.